Good morning. This is Dr. Jeff James with Iredell Schools and our program Eye on Education, and we have a studio full this morning. So we're going to start at our very far left and introduce them, and I'll bring you up to speed on a few things going around our district. But to my far left is Trinity Webb. She's magna cum laude graduate, and look forward to talking to her. The next one beside of her, yes, it's Ellie Williams. Some of you know her father and her mother. Both were teachers. Great career. So we'll talk about that too. And then Allie Johnson is in the middle of Miss Williams and our male student for today, Steele Hicks. So we'll be talking to these students about their plans after graduation and all the scholarship money they pulled down and how they done that. So they'll give you some tips on how you too, as a rising senior, can look out on the horizon for scholarships. And we'll mention that word again that we keep mentioning, FAFSA. So these guys will tell you to fill out the FAFSA form. There's tons of scholarship money out there, whether you think you're going on to college or not. It really is good to fill the form out, so you have options. So that said, a lot going on around the district. This past Friday night was a child nutrition banquet. They do one each year, and glad to be invited to that and recognize very important people in our school system, and that is our child nutrition workers. They do miracles with the food that we have to purchase through federal, state support, but we serve quite a few meals. We were actually one of the largest restaurant entities in the county with the meals we produce, but feed millions of meals over the years. So glad those ladies have stuck with us. The pandemic was rather hard, but we were still delivering meals out to the community. So still part of what goes on in our community. And actually tonight is the longest table at Statesville High School. It is a culmination of all the community supports that we have and visitors coming together to recognize the great work done here in Iredell County. So that will be at Statesville High School. It starts at 5 o'clock. Quite a few volunteers participating in that to feed those individuals that come out and recognize the great work that we do as a community here in Iredell County. So again, that event's tonight at 5, Statesville High School. Iredell County Sports Hall of Fame. Yes, that was last night at the Civic Center. Probably 350 plus in attendance. Recognize quite a few people over time, 2022, 2023 year, that were inducted in, but I believe we're up in the 50s now to the inductees. So a great way to honor those people that have made a huge difference in sports in our county in some form or fashion, whether it was reporting sports, being an athletic director, a coach. Great time, so appreciate that. And Sunday night was the NAACP Freedom Fund Banquet. That was also at the Civic Center. Sherry Beasley was the speaker. She done a great job, in my opinion, of talking about some of the things that are challenging our current society. So that said, we're going to jump in and talk to some very interesting people. So Ellie, I've got your name down first. So Ellie is summa cum laude graduate, and that means her GPA is 4.5 or higher. Yes, I'm trying to figure out how she got above 4. In college, I believe it cuts off at 4.0. So that GPA, she can tell us how she got it above 4, her strategy, but she's our top senior. She's a first honor graduate. She has won the State Employees Credit Union Scholarship. It's called People Helping People. Valued at $10,000. She also won Energy United Scholarship for $5,000, and this is phenomenal. She was a North Carolina State University, if you like North Carolina State, University Park finalist. So she's trying to debate what she's going to do, but that is a guarantee of $10,000 in scholarships at North Carolina State University. She won a lot of smaller ones, but the list is too long to mention here. So I think she's planning on going to North Carolina State University.
I am.
Yeah. Okay, wanted to make sure. So then we'll jump all the way down here to my fellow male student in the room, Steele Hicks. So Steele is magna cum laude. That is a GPA range between 4.0 and 4.49. Steele is enlisted in the Air Force, and he is the commander of the JROTC program at North Iredell High School. So congratulations on that. Since First Sergeant Turner has been out a lot, he stood up and been able to count and take charge of the various activities so the class can continue on. So already exhibiting leadership qualities while on campus still at North Iredell High School. The value of his enlistment with salary, housing, educational opportunities in the military, GI Bill, etc., is $250,000. So congratulations, Steele. And then we have Trinity, way over to my far left, Trinity Webb, magna cum laude, very active as well. She won a full ride to Mitchell Community College. Crosby Scholars, we mentioned that quite a bit. They are in our county and multiple other counties. It's an organization started by, yes, the infamous Bing Crosby and his family, and they continue on through Goodwill Industries, raising money through private entities and trying to provide our students with the ability to get scholarships. So she has got a scholarship at Mitchell Community College, valued at $6,800, and we'll be going to Mitchell. Yes, I will tell you, I've been there multiple times. And back in the day, since you always hear that from your parents and your grandparents, yes, we had to pay for our own education. Scholarships weren't that many. So I was lucky to go to Mitchell, and I would say they prepared me very well when I transferred to UNC Charlotte. So I always appreciate that stint at Mitchell College. It's a great little gym that we have here in our community that I would encourage every student to take advantage of in some form or fashion, whether you're going on to a 4-year university or just want a certification in trade and industry or want a 2-year degree, trade and technical degree. So Miss Trinity Webb was crowned the 2023 Carolina Dogwood Queen and has won $2,000 through that program. So congratulations. She's also North Iredell High School. You thought I couldn't, I didn't know this acronym, didn't you? It's Daughter of the American Revolution, Good Citizenship winner as well. So great group of ladies that provide scholarships to our kids every year. She won 5 local scholarships as well. So Allie and Trinity, we'll let them talk about how they won so many scholarships and tell you the importance of the FAFSA, but we're going to jump to Allie Johnson. I see Allie quite a bit. You got to be an FFA. I run across you constantly. So Allie has participated in numerous things. She's also a magna cum laude graduate. So Allie has done many things with agriculture, FFA. I will say that North Iredell High School has the largest chapter of Future Farmers of America in the state, and it's 600 plus. And also exciting is North Iredell Middle School has got like 400 and plus students in the FFA at the middle school, and we just started that ag program back heavily this year by Miss Fox transferred in as a teacher. She used to teach FFA actually next door to me when I was at Lake Norman High School. So great ag teacher, looking for great things in the ag programs in northern end of our county. They do a great job. So that said, let's jump all the way over to Trinity. Tell us a little bit about your tenure at North Iredell High School, right? And
Yes.
tell us a little bit about what got you on this trajectory and some of the things that you would tell your fellow classmates they need to get involved in so they too can come out as a senior with thousands of dollars in scholarships.
Yeah. So all 4 years of high school, my goal has just been to be a well-rounded student in everything that I do. So participating in athletics, fine arts, everything, and taking a few college credit classes as well. So I would definitely tell freshmen or underclassmen to definitely apply for every scholarship that you can, because any financial help is worth it, and all the hard work put in is worth putting all that hard work in. And so being a well-rounded student also looks really good on your resume as well. And resume is very important, not just for applying for college, but also applying for jobs. Or if you go straight into employment, you'll need a resume. So having my resume made at the beginning of the year really helped me in applying for every scholarship I can. And I've also made a lot of connections with my community through doing all the interviews and everything. And being crowned the Dogwood Queen, I'm excited to serve my community even more. And so not just with scholarships, but my connections around the community has really helped me throughout my senior year.
Great. So tell us a little bit about Crosby Scholars, since you received a scholarship from them. So tell us about that process and what got you interested in Crosby Scholars. So I do, as one of the many boards I serve on, work with Crosby Scholars, but again, was in 2 other counties that did not have Crosby Scholars. So I think that's another accolade that Iredell County has been able to pull in. And I actually had a friend that's in Mount Airy, and they were looking at expanding Crosby Scholars in Mount Airy. And of course, he picked up the phone and gave me a call, and I said, "Oh my gosh, one of the best organizations to work with to prepare students for work after high school or going on to a college career." And I would tell you that most students would be remiss. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you, you're probably at some point going to take a college course. If you're going into industry, there's probably going to be professional development there. They ask you to go get involved in. A lot of those are certificate programs of some sort. So I would say that graduating is the beginning of your journey, not a culmination. So a lot of people say, "Oh my God, they made it through high school." This is just the beginning of your life, and wish you well there. But tell us a little bit about Crosby Scholars.
Yeah, so Crosby Scholars, I've been involved in Crosby Scholars since I was in the 6th grade, and it's one of the programs that you can do all the way up throughout high school until you graduate. And I've had the honor of being the vice president my junior year of Crosby Scholars at North, and now the senior president at North. And so I've done a lot of recruitment, and we do a lot of meetings during study hall to just get people involved in Crosby Scholars. But every year for Crosby Scholars, you are required to have 2 hours of community service, and you are required to attend one academy. So it doesn't have, hard requirements or anything, but they're very helpful for giving study tips, college tips, just anything that you need, building resumes. They have all kinds of tools and classes for that. And you also get a senior advisor who meets with you in the fall, in the spring, and just checks in and to see what you need or what colleges you are applying to and your next steps. So it's a very helpful program, and it takes time to teach you things that you may not have time to sit down and learn in school because you're busy with all of your work. And so all of those tips from Crosby Scholars have really helped me. And of course, the opportunity to apply for the Mitchell Community College Scholarship has really helped me.
Great. So I'm going to leapfrog and go to Allie. So Allie, very high GPA also. So tell us a little bit about your pathway at North Iredell High School and what some of the things that you would tell your underclassmen they need to look at doing to be involved and have that resume that you've built.
Yeah, so like Trinity said, like going into high school at North, I knew that I wanted to be involved as possible, and I really encourage that to the upcoming freshmen and to any student in high school. But if you're get involved in the clubs, there's clubs for everyone. I know for me, I was raised on a farm, so FFA, I knew I wanted to be involved in that immediately. But yeah, just push yourselves to always do your best. And then I also encourage the college credit classes. There's Mitchell Community classes that you can take in AP. I encourage you to take those because, like, it boosts your GPA and it just makes you look like a better student.
Right, so that's how all of y'all are above a 4.0 as you took advanced classes, which you get a half a point, and are there still any with 1 point? AP still has 1 point, so if you stretch yourself, you can build your GPA. And you guys have said it here, and I've been on college induction boards. It's not always about your GPA. It's a culmination of your leadership qualities too. So y'all already said be involved in clubs. Crosby Scholars was a plus, and of course in Crosby Scholars you were VP, so places are looking for what leadership roles you have been in so far. So and FFA, so I run into these kids quite a bit because of the clubs they belong to, and like Allie, I think I've seen her more lately than I probably have my own family. So we've been at several different events together, so it's just all inspiring to sit here and listen to some of the great things that are going on in our school system. And here's proof positive that we have some great kids and great programs. So the other thing, and then we'll jump to Miss Williams, and I'm sorry, men go last. So remember that, and you'll do very well in life. Always open the door for ladies. So I had to take an etiquette class in 3rd grade, so I always pull the chair out or always open the door. I do try to get the car door for my wife, but not always. But that's always a good thing to learn is etiquette. So FAFSA is something that I keep preaching about and trying to get our high school involved in. So I may ask the students to give me some input on what we can do to increase the number of students that apply for FAFSA or fill out the FAFSA form. And FAFSA is used in every type scholarship, if you're going after money out there for grants, etc. But sadly, I think I looked at the numbers the other day, we might be up over 50% at each one of our high schools. North Carolina just leaves millions of dollars on the table, and that doesn't mean it goes back into a bank account or it rolls over to next year. That means that other states that are applying are going to pull that money. So it behooves us, parents, to get you to fill out the FAFSA form with your student, whether you think they're going to go to college or not, because you may find out that there's a lot of options available to your child, and then I think Trinity said it, it just opens up a world of possibilities, and of course Ellie's going to talk about it here in a minute, but it sort of gives you some options you may not know you had, because college is not cheap, especially if you're going to Harvard or some of the Ivy League schools. I think there's probably $60,000 plus a year now. So when you fill out that FAFSA, you don't know what's available unless you fill the form out. So if you fill it out, at least your child, your family knows what's available to put towards an education. And for some families, just to be honest, that makes a difference on whether you can go to college or not. So please, it's not that hard. We have counselors, we have FAFSA nights. We sit down and help you fill it out. We're just not going to hand you the form and say, here, go fill it out. We'll put somebody beside of you and say, here's how you go about filling out the FAFSA. So if there's anything I could do to encourage our families, please do that. Let's not leave our tax dollars, and this is what I told someone else. We all pay, well, y'all don't. Well, you may if you work at Starbucks or somewhere, but I doubt you're making enough to pay federal taxes. But anyway, most of the adults that I'm talking to today are paying federal and state taxes and local taxes. I think part of my responsibility as an adult is try to pull all the federal tax dollars I can get back to our county, because if I don't, it's going to be used somewhere else. I want to provide for the county I grew up in and for the students that are coming up that we're trying to mentor and convince to go on to be great assets to our community. Let's just face it, I'm going to be retired when you guys come out with a job, so you need to make really good money. And if you happen to be a nurse in a restaurant, you need to take really good care of me. So it behooves me to make sure y'all are doing great, and the rest of the adults that are listening today. So just inspired with all the accomplishments you guys have. And this is just our selection of the population out there that we put through, but we have story after story that goes along. So I'm going to jump over to Miss Williams, because you're thinking about going to North Carolina State University. It's probably, well, I've actually taken some classes there. It's probably the only university that I don't have a degree from for some reason. I don't think I like red.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I did just accept my offer from there, so I
all
am
right,
for
so you are
sure
going.
Yep.
So I think your dad graduated from
He
it.
did, yep. He was going to have a cow if I went to Carolina instead of
I
state.
can see that, yes,
but,
yes,
yeah.
yes. So
Yeah.
that would probably have some bearing on how well it went when you come back home for a break. Yes.
Yeah, it did.
So, but it'd be nice to tell him it'd be nice to add some blue to your house.
I will. I'll make sure.
So what would you tell your underclassmen? Because evidently you won quite a few things, and then tell us a little bit about the park finalist application. So what all you went through?
Right. So like both Allie and Trinity said, I'm really heavily involved in clubs, sports, and especially volunteer hours. That's something that's I don't think a lot of students know how important that is to being a well-rounded student. And with the Park Scholarship, there's 4 pillars. So it's academics, leadership, volunteer work, and I'm forgetting the other one, but there's 4, and you have to fit those 4 pillars to be moved on. So you fill out a very extensive application, but I would say it's very worth it, because if you just get to the finalist round, which I did, you still get a guaranteed $10,000 amount, even if you don't get the full ride. But full ride is a lot of money, so even
Yes.
if you don't think that you might not get there, I would recommend that you apply. But basically, I just talk about my volunteer work, and that me and Allie actually started the first ever Special Olympics tennis team in our county. Our
Wow.
county does not have one. So I've been helping with Special Olympics since I was in the 6th grade, and I have over 200 hours of community service through high school. And so things like that, and being involved in my school, I have had leadership positions in student government and student body, and leadership positions on my sports teams. I've played basketball, volleyball, tennis, and softball. So just being able to put that down on your resume, and on top of taking challenging classes and showing them that you can juggle all of those things, that's how you can look good on your college applications.
Great. So it's that time still. You're up. So tell us a little bit about what you're going to do and what interests you had in. So I guess you joined JRTC in 9th grade?
Yes, sir. I've done 4 years in JRTC. Often a misconception of JRTC is that our only goal is to send you to the military, but I will tell you that our main mission is to create better citizens. So what we're doing, we are teaching you basic fundamentals of the foundation of citizenship, creating better leaders, and just overall discipline, whether that be from your uniform, just for time management, things like that. But I would recommend JRTC to anyone, just to try it out. Obviously, it's not for everyone, but it's been one of the main reasons that I love going to high school was to come to JRTC. Got to meet a lot of different people from different walks of life, and it's kind of like a family environment. But when going into the military, if you decide to, your rank, also called your E grade. If you're just a regular person off the street, you would join and you would be at E1. Okay, so then if you did 3 years of JRTC, you'd go in as a E2, and if you've done 4 years, you go in as a E3. So me going in to the Air Force, I'll be going in as a E3, Airman First Class.
All right. So you also are a magna cum laude, which is above a 4.0. So you've taken some advanced courses at some point. And so I want to ask you what you're going to do really quick after. So what's your plans once you graduate? NC State, Trinity?
Mitchell Community College.
Mitchell, NC State. NC State. You're going to the military as a...
Yes, sir. U.S. Air Force military police.
Military police. So I'm not sure how you police in the sky. Oh, it's on the ground, so you don't... Okay. Unless a Chinese balloon happens to come over our border. And and I think I've heard it from all of y'all, you get out what you put in. So just listening to y'all today, your high school experience depends a lot on how much you want to get involved, what clubs you join, what volunteer work you do, and what pathway you choose. And of course, I did hear from all of you, you all did the FAFSA, so it helped you when you were applying for scholarships or grants. So again, I guess still as far as the money so far, not that I'm promoting everybody go to the military, but $250,000, and of course National Guard actually gives you extra, a little bit above. They're like the premier program if you join the National Guard as far as giving you college money. But there's always ways to get higher education under your belt without you having to pull all that money out of your pocket. So again, parents, fill out that FAFSA form. We'll be there sitting beside of you to help you do it. So this is Dr. James with Eye on Education. Great to have you guys, and good luck on your future.
All right. Thank you, sir.